Hello, dear students. Good morning. Hope you all are fine and doing your studies. So, today we are going to learn with biosphere reserves. Okay, so what is biosphere reserves? So, let us know about biosphere reserve. A biosphere reserve is a specialized area in which multiple use of the land is permitted by dividing it into many zones, and each zone being specified for a particular activity. Okay, so biosphere reserves are the special area in which wild animal and forest plant are protected by which special facilities. Okay, biosphere reserve have been formed under the MAB, that is man and biosphere. Clear? Now, the program of UNESCO in the year 1974, yes, this way different scientific failure human species would be benefited from it. Their main object is to protect the gene pools of a live species, right? Under this program, wild animal and plant of the modified areas are also protected and are studied in natural conditions. Okay, so objects of biosphere reserve program. So what are the objects? That is to know about representative species of all the ecosystem, conservation of genetic diversity of long period time, to promote basic and applied researches, and to promote proper management of biotic resources, to promote international cooperation. Clear? Now you can see here, this is the area of biosphere reserve in the figure number 15.3. You can see the outermost layer is the transition zone. Now after that we having a buffer zone, then core area, and and also we having some human settlement. Okay, so in this way, so now let us read about this also. So this is called the zones of biosphere reserve. Okay, so let us talk about what is the meaning of core zone. It lies in the center of biosphere, as you can see in this structure, right? So reserve where human activities are not allowed, and it comprises an undisturbed and legal protected ecosystem, means human activities are prohibited. Okay, now second we having is buffer zone. What is buffer zone? This zone surrounds the core area. It is managed to accommodate a great varieties of resources and uses the strategies, research and educational activities. Clear? Yes. Now next we having the transition area, transition zone. So it is the other most zone of the biosphere, and it is called the manipulative zone. Means manipulative zone means when we cut something and we get attached by that thing. Okay, means in Hindi we can say jod tod karna. Okay, that is known as manipulative zone. So it serves as an area of active cooperation between the reserve management and the local people. So wherein activities like settlement, cropping, forestry, recreation continue in harmony with conservation the global. Okay, so in this way we have divided the zone in different areas, biosphere. Okay, now let us talk about the biosphere reserve of India. So, MAB Committee of India in 1979 has identified a network of the following 13 representative ecosystems that to be protected as biosphere reserve. Out of the proposed 13 cities as biosphere reserve and 12 biosphere reserves has been created to preserve the biodiversity in the country. Today there are 18 biosphere reserve are present in India. These are listed in the following tables. So you can see here, this is the table, that is the name of biosphere reserve which is present in India. You can see this is the 18 countries, and you can also see the date of notification and also the location, means in which state. Okay, so here by the help of this table you can see. Now so here you can see the places where it is situated. It is given in the map showing the proposed site of the biosphere reserve in India. Now let us talk about the national efforts. So what is the national efforts? A number of efforts has been undertaken by Government of India to conserve our forest and wildlife. Many act has also been enacted by the parliament from time to time. So these are the following, like Wildlife Protecting Act in the year 1972, Indian National Man and Biosphere Committee was formed in the year 1972, Indian Board of for Wildlife in the year 1952, National Wildlife Action Plan in the year 1982. Now, let us talk about the international effort. This is all about the national effort which is done by our parliament. Now, international efforts. Following agencies has been established at international level to promote the activities of conservation or natural resources. So first we having the Food and Agriculture Organization, in short we can say FAO. So it is working on the conservation of germplasma of cultivated as well as the wild plant. Now secondly we having Worldwide Organization, that is WHO. So it is involved in the conservation, yes, for the conservation of medical plant. Now, next we having International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, that is IUCN. So, it is the working in the field of conservation of endangered species. That is also known as the Threatened Plant Committee. Was established in the year 1974. It collect data of endangered organisms from all over the world. The Red Data Book, which we have already know, right? So was published by this organization. So let us talk about the information of the species, the evidence of the threatened species, and sources of information, and also the authorship. So you can see here information of species. It provide the information like legal status, environmental habitat, geographical distribution, description and importance. So in this way, now evidence. So evidences means the change in the status, recommendation of the conservation and rehabilitation, identification of interested place. Sources of information means knowledge about the sources of information and summary of the information. Now, authorship. Authorship means the management of maintenance of status and the report, and also the record. So in this way you can read. Yes. Now next we having, this is known as Ramsar site, or we can say the wetland area. So that is Ramsar site or wetland are the dynamic aquatic ecosystem which is found all over the world. So a wetland is an area of land. It is situated with water either permanently or seasonally. So wetland can be fresh water, or we can say a partly salty and little very salty. Okay, so it is a conserved area which defined as a wetland or area of marsh, or yes, petland, or we can say watery area. Okay, so the Ramsar is an important city of iron where the international conservation is organized on the Feb 2nd in the year 1971 for the conservation of wetland of the world. Since then, the conservation of wetland has been known as the Ramsar conservation. So now we having the types. So we having the many types of the wetland area, like shallow lakes or ponds area, like marshes area, you know. So like marine areas, riverine and rapine wetland. So in this way we having many areas related with this Ramsar site. Now the concept of environment and Indian culture. So what are the main concept? So environment is the basis of life of living beings, as all requirements are fulfilled for the environment. This is the reason being the worship of nature, sun, air, water, trees, rivers, ocean in Indian culture from ancient time, means we are generally doing the worships. So Indian people regards as these things as God. So the main object of worship is to develop attachment of human beings with these things. So that is they conserve them to make yes, situations used, that is the Ram Charitra Manas. It is said, yes, you can see here, this is one, yeah, it is written here, this is we can say a line which is taken from the Ramcharit Manas. Clear? Now, so you can see in this way, this is the concept of environment in Indian culture. Means generally the Indian peoples do the worship of that particular areas. Now we having some important terms and concepts which you can see, and we having some important points to be remember. Now read this by your book. Okay, I hope you have understood this chapter, because this is a very important chapter related to the endangered species. Okay, and also the extinct species. Thank you.